What's going on, people, and welcome back to Total Spurs. And we're top of the league for the international break. Now, let's not get excited, guys. This could be possibly the only time we lead the Premier League for the whole season. Man City slipped up against Arsenal, so we're joint top with them. But let's enjoy it while we can, guys. Let's enjoy the football that we're playing, and let's be positive. But also, we can, criticize whilst being positive too. But then that's what we'll do today. But first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that subscribed already. You guys are killing it at the moment. We're slowly getting up there. But please make sure if you haven't already, you do subscribe to the channel if you like what you see and the content that we bring. And make sure you smash on the likes too on the video if the video is good too. But apologies for not having a video out in the last couple of days. Myself and Brad had a 20-hour night shift together. We worked together at work, and Monday night killer. And then last night just was out of it when I got home after 20 hours of work. So just crashed. But here we are. Lateness is greatness, as they always say. But Luton Town 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. And this game could have been dead and buried after 10 minutes. Richie missed 2 sitters, which we'll get onto Richie a bit later. Sonny missed a nice chance. Porro missed a nice 1-2 with Sonny, who should have buried his. We should have been 4-0 up at 10 minutes if, but our clinical, the clinical strikes up front just wasn't there. Richie missed a great ball from Kulusevski, muscled out and whipped the ball in. Should have scored then. The second ball from Maddison, right in behind the line. All he had to do was finesse it over feet, and he didn't do that. And then he did nothing else for the rest of the game. And this was a poor game from Richie, and his confidence is shot. I can see that. But if that's Son, or if that's Son missed a good chance too. But if Richie was in, if that was Son on Richie's second chance, that was a goal. Son would have dinked it over goalkeeper, finesse easily. Same with Harry Kane. I don't like to keep bringing him up, but ex-striker, got to make sure people know. But yeah, Richie, poor game. And then after those 4 missed chances, after about 10-15 minutes, we allowed Luton to go back into the game. They could have had a goal that was disallowed for a push on Romero. But overall, after that, I felt like it was anybody's game. It was going to be one of those games where I felt like they were going to score and then we were just going to capitulate. But we ended up getting that goal. And, the team did really, really well to fight up until, that spot. But, at any point in time, even after the goal, I did feel like we could have actually lost that game. And, I did say beforehand that this is the game that this is just as important for me as it was the Liverpool and Arsenal game, purely because we usually come up against these teams, and we lose. We go to Man City, and then we play Man City, we beat them, and then we go to Berlin the next week and we lose 3-0. Like last season. We did the same thing. We beat one of the top 4 and then went away and got papped. So it was great character from the team. It was a great short corner from Kulu and Maddison. And I've got to big up Kulu. He really stood out this game. For me, Kulu and Maddison were the best 2 on the pitch by far. Kulu's getting a lot more confident. Seems like he's getting a bit of a turn of pace back. I think his confidence is rising on that right-hand side. And his short corner to Mads, and Mads once again turning another player inside out. And a nice quick ball across. And VDV, my man of the match, apart from Romero. I think Romero does pip it. I think Romero did say VDV a few times. But nice, well-taken goal, first time. Opened his body up, side-footed it in, and Tottenham win 1-0. There's not too much to take from that game. No really big injuries. I think the team played well, but not as good as what we could do. Couldn't break them down. The game could have been dead and buried in 10 minutes, like I said. 4 missed chances, and I'm going to big up Porro as well. He's really, really, really improved this season, and once again, he got inside that 1-2 pass from Son. Should have done well on his shot. I feel like he's really grown this season, and that's probably down to Ange's confidence and man management in him too. And there is one player that was quite disappointing though, is Yeats Basuma. I mean, the challenge you made on for the first yellow card, iffy. Some people call it yellow, some people don't. But for me, it was a yellow. But that second yellow was not needed. I understand we're chasing the game, we're trying to score a goal. It's just before half time. And that dive was horrendous. And I don't give a crap what anyone's trying to put at camera angles and, this person touched this, so he went down. That was one of the worst dives I've ever seen. And he really could have cost us. And big ups to the team mentally and physically, playing 10 men, nicking a goal and seeing the game out. Great management from the team, game management wise. Every player put in the shift. But Yeats Basuma, what an idiot. And, because he got that red, he's now missing the game against, I think it's Crystal Palace we play next. Or is it Fulham? Pretty sure it is. Let me just double check. Sorry, guys. Fulham, sorry. We play Fulham on Tuesday. And, he comes back against Crystal Palace away. Good game to come back to. But if he gets a yellow in that, then he misses the next game, which is Chelsea. It's I don't know what came over him to make that dive. I understand that, probably the confidence that he has and it maybe did feel something, I don't know. But there was no need for that. There was no need for that dive. And it could have cost us massively. And it could cost us against Fulham. Fulham have a decent midfield with Paulini in there. Kearney scored a banger. It was kind of a slip banger last week, but he scored. They're a decent side, Fulham. They're not doing too well. But they beat us in the cup. I know we rotated 9 players, but they beat us in the cup. So they have the confidence that they can beat us again. And luckily we're playing at home. We're not going to Craven Cottage because I feel like that would even be worse. But without Basuma in there, the likes of Højbjerg, we've got Skip, maybe even the Salso might be able to sub in, but they're not going to bring what Basuma does. And unfortunately, he has that in his locker sometimes, that he gets too many yellow cards and some unnecessary cards. He got one the other week for abusing the ref, and Romero had to pull him away. This week the dive, like there's just unneeded stuff he's putting in there, and it just overshadows his quality as a footballer. Apart from that, like before that, he was bossing the midfield again, and it's really poor from him. Let the team down. But the team stood up. The team stood up on each other's shoulders. They got that goal. They nicked the goal. Could have had probably 1 or 2 more chances to score. And big ups to the boys and big up for Ange for instilling that mentality. Tottenham of old. If this game was played last year, we would have lost 2-3-0. We would have capitulated. Teams would have given up. Our team would have given up. Our players would have given up. And got to give it to Big Ange. He's given the mentality that I didn't question, but I kind of wanted to see in this game, because going up against the big boys as underdogs is very easy to do. Go there and because you have no pressure, but we had the pressure to beat Luton, and it's a 1-0, it's a scrappy win, but these are the wins that we weren't getting last season or the season before. So big ups to the boys for that. But we shouldn't have been in that position. We should have been 4-0 up at 10 minutes. We need to be more clinical. We need to be scoring those goals. And if Richie keeps performing the way he is, even though he nicked a couple of goals, a goal and an assist at Sheffield, played half decent on the left when Johnson was out last week. This week he was poor, and I'm worried that our goals are going to dry up if we don't start taking our chances. And maybe a cheeky bid in the winter window for someone like Ivan Toney, who I know other clubs be chasing for. But with our new DOF, if you've been living under a rock, Tottenham have signed Johan Lange. So we've got Ange and Lange. So the Ange Lange. He was an ex Aston Villa. He's the one that brought in the likes of Ollie Watkins, Emiliano Martinez Madikash to Aston Villa. So he has some decent, eyesight in what players are quite good. He did bring the likes of Ross Barkley and Morgan Sanson as well. So good and bad, kind of like Paratici, couple of good, couple of bad. As Katusa would say, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. However, it's good that we've now got a DOF to help Ange, and for me, that is also going to solidify good targets for January. And I think this is the one thing that we missed. Even though Paratici, had a lot of problems behind the football scene, he has brought in some good players. Udogie, Basuma. Let's say, Johnson, I think, is going to be a good buy, even though it might not be his pick. Kulu, Bentancur, Romero, like all these kind of players he's brought in. He brought in duds, and that's fine to admit. But having a new DOF with Ange is going to be great for the club going forward, and I hope he has some solid striking, a striker, a winger, and a centre back, and maybe one more midfielder. I think 4 is needed. But we can get away with 2 or 3 for this year, considering that our expectations isn't top 4. It's still top 6. Even though we're top of the league, I don't expect us to be there at Christmas. If we are, then I'm going to ride that train. But realistically, I do think we are about 3 or 4 cover / first 11 players. For me, the striker, definitely a new striker up front, even though Sonny's doing really well there. If not a striker, then a left winger. If the likes of Johnson do not, or a right winger to cover Kulu, because I don't think we have any options apart from Porro on that right-hand side. So, a centre-back to help cover any one of the 3, probably Mads, even though I think we have some good youth players, the likes of Iago Santiago and Jamie Donnelly, that could probably come in and maybe do a job in that midfield. Obviously, no Madison-type players yet, but, they're killing it in the under-21s. And then, centre back, I think is just more coverage for me. So, hopefully this DOF can come in, do a good job, get some really good targets and help Ange build the team that's exciting us at the moment. So that's it from me, guys. I appreciate all the time you've given me. Make sure you do comment down below how you feel about the Luton game and about the new DOF. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Stay safe, take it easy. And as always, guys, stay Spursy.